So this video will be very honest. I have a few questions to answer, guys, the most requested questions related to YouTube and influencer marketing and Instagram and how I got started and all this craziness. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been so long, but so much has been going on. I know I've been keeping you guys updated on my Instagram of all the craziness that has been going on, and forever I'm trying to film this video of the Q&As that you guys sent on my Instagram, and I finally, I don't know what happened, that I was able to do it today. Able to sit down and film. But yes, I've been trying to come back to YouTube and be more active on Instagram, because I was super active on Instagram, super active on YouTube, but life happens. I became a mom and just had a lot of gigs here and there, and now I'm working at a school, at a preschool, and my mornings are crazy. But I'm going back to YouTube, guys, don't worry. I started on YouTube so long ago, I just had to come back. I enjoy doing this. So let's go to the questions, right? So first question is, how did you get started on YouTube? Ooh, like I said, it was so long ago. I would say it was over 10 years ago when I lived in Florida. Now we live in South Carolina, but when we lived in Florida, I started this. It was very strongly a beauty channel here on YouTube, this channel. And I started doing makeup tutorials and a lot of collabs. I met so many wonderful people here, and I had a lot of wonderful brands reaching out to me and sending me products to, you know, make reviews on and stuff. So I started on YouTube a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it. I had time to film every day. I could do like 2-3 looks in one day. Nowadays, if I can get this done, it's like super rare. Just mom life, you know. I know a lot of you guys can relate to that, just not having time for yourself, and your life is very different when you have a little one. You know, your whole attention, everything is on them, especially if they're young. So slowly I'm starting to get back to this, you know, social media life. But yes, I started YouTube a long time ago doing makeup tutorials, and I had a very, very strong support system with other YouTubers in the same niche. So that was very nice, and until this day I still keep in contact with them. So that's very, very nice. Next question, which platforms you use to find brands to partner with? Okay, this is not just one answer, because since I was very active on Instagram and I would post like products I was using that I was buying with my own money, other brands would see that, would be like, oh, okay, this is good content, and you know, she's talking about this product. So I actually got contacted by brands directly to try their products, so they would send me products. But also, so Instagram was very strong for that, connecting with brands, but also I used other platforms like, oh, I forgot the name now, but I don't even know if they exist anymore, because like I said, when I was doing this influencer marketing thing, when I started, I used Influencer. There is one that you could connect with brands, and they would tell you if they would pay you or not, if they would just pay you by sending you products, and some of them would send you products and pay you for posts. I forgot the name of the platform, but I would tell you that mostly just being on Instagram and being on YouTube, brands will contact me rather than me contacting brands. So yeah, so Instagram was very crucial when I was working with beauty brands. So next question, how did you get accepted to Amazon influencer program? Okay guys, this is hard because I got accepted into the Amazon influencer program years ago. It was so long ago, it was not recently. And I think they have changed the way they accept people since when I was accepted. So how I was accepted is I applied. First, I applied for their associated program, which anybody gets accepted. You just are able to make links that you can put on your Instagram, and people buy the products using your link, and then you get paid. You get a commission from it. So that's the associated program. That one is not hard to get in. Now, the influencer program, it's the associated program plus you get a storefront which means you have a little page on Amazon where you can put your what they call idea lists. So if you go on mine, I'm gonna link down below in the description of this video. You can go there and look at all my recommendations, which I have a lot because I've been there for years and years and years and years. So you go in there and you see I have like toddler toys, I have beauty products, I have a whole thing of just skincare, I have something for hair, I have makeup brushes, a lot of outfit ideas, I love doing those, I have a lot of furniture stuff, you know, like, yeah. So having a storefront is very, very important on Amazon because people can just go to your link and there they can shop all the little categories that you put. But yes, so the way I got accepted years ago is I already had my associated program going, which is they just allow you to create links. You know, that one is very easy. Anybody gets accepted. You apply, you get accepted. It's very, very easy. Then you apply for the influencer program. And a lot of people have asked me about how I got accepted. A lot of people. Recently, how the way they do it is different. They didn't do the same way 10 years ago. But I had a big following on Instagram from the beauty community. Since I stopped, I'm not as strong with beauty, the niche, as I used to be. So I lost a lot of followers because of that. But it's okay because now that I'm rebranding into motherhood, lifestyle niche, I'm starting to get followers slowly. And it's totally fine because that is the niche I want to be in. I don't want to be on only beauty. I think it's oversaturated and I don't want to be on the niche, on that niche anymore only. You know, I'm still going to do something like beauty related, but it will be for moms or people my age, you know. So yeah, and quick things because once you have little ones, there's no more relaxing time, ladies. Sorry to tell you that. But yes, so back in the day I applied for it and I know definitely that they looked at my Instagram and they saw I had 10,000 followers at the time. This is 10 years ago. And they also see the engagement that you have with your followers and they see the quality of posts that you post. So if you're somebody that posts a lot like personal stuff, like your life, well, I don't even want to say that because you could post about your daily routines and be interesting and people will follow you for that is one thing. But if you just post pictures of, you know, like your pets and your family and that's all what your account is about and you're not talking about any other products, you're not recommending people products you use personally and you love, then that's not what they're looking for. And I have told that to people that ask me about it. I was honest with them. You have to have an account that Amazon is gonna look at and be like, okay, this person is constantly recommending products. Even if you're just showing things you do daily, you know, like you're working out, you're making coffee, you're doing these things, but you're like, oh, I got this coffee pods or K-cups from Amazon or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're catching it, what I'm saying? So yes, nowadays I think it's harder to get into the influencer program because there's so many more, you know, more people doing it. And I think it's gotten harder and harder to get into, but it's not impossible. So there are ways, and if you guys are interested, I can make a whole video just about that. But there are ways you can get, you just gotta tweak your Instagram and your TikTok and your YouTube, Facebook, whatever. You know, because you're gonna put your socials there. It not necessarily needs to be YouTube or it doesn't necessarily need to be Instagram, but whatever social media platform you share with them that you tell them, because they're gonna ask you which platforms you're gonna share this content with, and then you give them your handle because they're gonna go look. They're gonna check. The content is what's gonna get them. So, and the following, not so much. Back in the day, the following was huge, but nowadays I've seen them accepting people that have 1,000 followers. So you don't have to have 10,000 followers or more to get accepted. I've seen people with 1,000 or even less getting accepted because their content is really good. So yeah, so they were gonna look at that. Okay, next question. What's your creative process and how do you ensure your content is authentic? So my creative process is very simple, but I try to follow, and that goes with being authentic. I don't fake anything. Like I do watch a lot of influencers posting these beautiful videos and all this stuff. If it's stuff I don't personally do, I'm not gonna copy just because it gets views. If it's not something I do in my daily routines, I'm not gonna create something about it. So my creative process comes straight from what I do daily. So if I have a skincare routine and I want to share with you what my skincare routine is, then I'm gonna film that and recommend the products. I have a video that got a lot of views on TikTok, and it was a video about foundations I do not recommend. So I actually got a lot of views very quick on that video, and I was surprised. I didn't expect to get that many, but I was like, oh yeah, I realized that because I guess people look for that. I think they want to see which products not to buy. So I might make another video about that and explain why I didn't like those foundations. But that video went really good. And I actually had a video of foundations I do recommend, and that one did not do as well as the one I didn't recommend. So that's very curious. I thought it was very interesting about that. So yeah, so my creative process is just, I try to stay in my niche. I'm exploring a new niche. Before, like I said, before I was in beauty, it was too broad. Now I'm in motherhood, lifestyle, hacks, and tricks and stuff. So what works for me, I'm gonna be sharing. Motherhood is not easy, guys, and I know you girls know that, but yeah, so whatever it's working for me, I'm gonna share with you guys. I'm not gatekeeping anything from you guys. So yes, it's just my daily life, what happens. And another thing, like, I know a lot of people want to be on YouTube or they want to be on Instagram, but they don't feel secure enough, or they feel like, oh, nobody's gonna watch what I have to share. Yes, they do. Try it. Okay, just try it, and you'll be surprised of how many people want to see. Like, even like, for example, I like a year ago I started baking bread. Okay, by the way, I'm gluten-free, so I have to make gluten-free stuff, but I started making bread, and then I started posting about it on TikTok, and I got a lot of views. So people want to make bread, and if it's working for you, why not share? So you will be surprised. And if you post and your video doesn't do well, it gets like, I don't know, 3 views, delete it or whatever, put in private. You don't have to delete it or whatever. Like, just try it, put yourself out there. One thing, when I started years ago on YouTube and on Instagram, one thing is I'm not scared of putting myself out there. I have some friends that are more shy, and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there, or they're afraid of the comments because people are really rude, people are really cruel out there. I'm not worried about that. I'm really not. Like, and listen, comments help you. If they're negative or positive, they help you. They push your video to be shown to more and more people. So don't be afraid of rude comments, negative comments. Just do it. Do it. And if you're thinking about, oh, I want the right camera, I want the right lighting to start filming. No, just do it. Just do it. Try, just start. And then you start upgrading, and then you can delete older videos if you really hate them, if you can stand looking at them. But anyway, let's go to the last question. Will you give us a pitch example you use for brands? Yes. Like I said, most of the time brands contacted me, but I have contacted brands before. There is a lot of famous brands that are in Ulta right now that I have contacted them, and I have gotten products from them. I adapt my pitch. I don't have the same exact pitch for everybody. I adapt it according to that brand. So let's say I love this certain brand, and I try to see, like, are they very conservative, or are they really out there? They're very like crazy and not afraid to push the envelope. So my pitch will depend on that, and I will make a little research on the brand. And obviously I only contact the brands that I already like. I don't contact any brands that I never heard of or whatever. I usually, like, if I really like, oh, I really like this brand, I'm gonna contact them. So I already know something about them, and I'm gonna use that in my pitch and try to make a relation and try to make a correlation with my life. Usually on the first paragraph, I introduce myself and I tell them I'm very active on these platforms and I have this amount of people following me. And I even offer them, if you want to know more about me, I'll gladly send some examples of my work. So if they do come back and ask for more, I will send them pictures and videos from other brands I worked with and other example of marketing that I've done for them. And I tell them, like, on my pitch, I always tell them, this is what I can do for you. I don't ask for payment right away. I go and ask, like, in exchange for you sending me your product, I can make 3 posts, 5 stories, and 2 videos. reels if it's on Instagram, for example. So I will say something like, I'll tell them what I can do for one product, or if they send me 2-3 products, you know, I can make this amount of posts, this amount of stories, this amount of reels. And usually, most of the time, they will come back and say yes. I have worked with this very famous brand. It's a very affordable brand, but it's very famous. They sell at Ulta, and I contact them. I was not expecting to hear back. I was like, I have nothing to lose. So I wrote to them and I said, I have this amount of followers. I've been posting about, you know, makeup products, and they sent me this box full of, like, there's a lot of lipsticks, mascaras, highlighters. They sent me concealer. They sent me a lot of stuff. So I was very excited about. And there's another brand that also I worked with, and they sent me products. They sent me a whole eyeshadow palette, and I was like, okay, I'm in the game if they're, you know, sending me this stuff. So yeah, so the way I pitch to brands is very different. And it was in the past as I was doing beauty, but now that I'm just doing more like motherhood stuff. For example, when I was pregnant, I was contacting brands about it, and I was posting about my pregnancy and all this stuff. So I had a lot of companies that were sending me stuff for babies. So I got so many baby bottles, and I got, oh my gosh, I got some bougie stuff, guys. I got this like baby bottle that it was kind of like, what's the name? A Yeti. It was like a Yeti cup, but it was like a Yeti bottle for babies. It was not a Yeti brand, but it was a baby bottle that it was on the material of the Yetis, you know, tumblers. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Even people at the airport were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe your baby has a Yeti bottle. I was like, it's not a Yeti. It wasn't this different brand. But anyway, I was getting a lot of stuff. I had this like company send me stuff for breastfeeding, and it was like cookies that would help you breastfeed, and then there was like some protein shakes and all this stuff. Oh, also, besides having my beauty Instagram page, I also have and always had this fitness page, and I had so many companies sending me stuff, like sending me creatine and this gel thing to put on your belly. When you're doing like abs exercise, you can actually sweat more or whatever. And I had a lot of companies sending me leggings and sending me like resistance bands. So yes, like it will work, guys. So if you're looking into getting into influencer marketing, you can do it. And I know you're like, oh, I'm not gonna have this many followers. Yes, you will. You just have to start. How you know you're not gonna have this chance? You have to start. You know, just start. So if you like content like this, follow me on this YouTube, Epic Barbie, and follow me on Instagram. I post tons there, and a lot of stuff that you can also start doing now, today. So you can start also receiving free products or even getting paid to post about brands. So yes, guys, so this ends our Q&A. Thank you so much for you girlies who sent your questions. And yeah, my next video, I'm going to have a special guest. So I'm very excited about that. All right, guys, I'll see you guys soon. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and also click on that subscribe button so we can stay in touch and you don't miss a video. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.